Congressman, thank you for coming on. And that is quite a statistic. I'll repeat it just so people can get it in their heads. That 60% of small business, according to this study, will close within 6 months of a cyber attack. And it just puts them out completely. 6 out of 10. What do we do about it?
Well, Connell, what it comes down to is we're trying to raise the issue of cybersecurity for small business so that they know there's a problem. So many small businesses today feel like, in fact, it's almost 87%, don't think that there's a threat to them. But then when you ask them if they've got a security policy, they don't. So it starts with the board of directors and the CEO establishing a security policy for cybersecurity, making sure, as we just heard Apple's talking about, you have strong passwords. It's not the name of your college mascot. It's not the name of your dog. And it's not repeating a username and making it your password as well. So many people are naive and thinking it won't happen to me. Well, when it does happen, as we pointed out yesterday, the results can be catastrophic. A cyber attack accessing your bank accounts, rerouting your phone numbers to where when the bank calls to verify the transfer, it's been redirected to the criminal, and they're giving it the A-OK. And the next thing you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars are leaving your bank account. And you don't even know it's happening.
Now, what have you found from looking into this? Because you say that there's this whole philosophy out there of, oh, it can't happen to me. Is there anything to that? Because just thinking about it logically, you might say, well, if I'm a hacker, I'm going to go out and attack the biggest business I can and get the biggest bang for my buck, so to speak. Is that normally what the hackers are doing, or are they going after the small businesses now as well? What are you seeing?
Well, no, that's the thing. 20% of all attacks today are on small businesses with fewer than 250 employees. Those are the companies that think it won't happen to me. Well, it is happening, and the results can be catastrophic. It can be the theft of intellectual property, designs, your financial plan, your customer list, all of the information on your employees, their Social Security numbers. And what we're seeing is they're accessing a list of passwords and usernames, right, and they know a lot of Americans use that same password and username again and again, and then they're accessing thousands, tens of thousands of sites, and they're getting hits where all of a sudden this same username and password is working in multiple sites, and they're accessing your data, and you've got a real problem.
As a final thing, Congressman, tell me then specifically what, if anything, we should do about it in terms of government involvement. We've had this conversation a number of times here over the last couple of weeks about what type of role government should take. When we have small business owners and CEOs on to talk about other issues, be it health care or something else, they say, boy, we have a lot to deal with already. We don't want more regulation. We don't want our costs to go up. So what's the role of government, and what's the proper kind of line to draw in the sand on that?
Well, you've made a good point, and our position now is on the Small Business Committee shining a spotlight on cybersecurity and the need for small business to be more diligent than they are and to understand they are under attack. But we're also going to be very cautious in making sure we don't have regulations on the reporting of an attack and the things that might not be something a small business can do, and the cost to have that capability would be quite onerous. So it's that fine line between not having regulations that would add cost to small business, but making sure small business knows they just can't sit idly by and understand they have an attack when it's too late.
All right.
They've got to have policies in place. They've got to educate their workforce, password security, and encrypt their data.
Good stuff out of Congressman Chris Collins on a very important issue, joining us out of Buffalo today. We want to point out in the next hour here on Fox Business that Cheryl Casoni will wrap up what has been a week-long series on taxes, tax pain, and they have an expert panel coming up answering your questions. And the reason we want to point it out is because they're going to be doing a lot of this on Twitter, and you can tweet it in right now at Fox Business, the @FoxBusiness account, and just use the hashtag tax pain once you're doing so. And Cheryl will take some questions next hour.
You were tweeting a lot during the games yesterday.
A little bit.
More than you normally.